Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning. I hope I am audible today at least.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Tell me the dates of your first eye test, if anybody remembers. It was 13, 14, 15, I guess.
The same disturbance started.
Narayan,
The same disturbance started.
again.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
I can hear you, sir, but there are some disturbances.
Some disturbances. Okay, now what should I do about that? Like, is it like, am I audible? Like, can you understand what I'm speaking?
Ah, yes, sir. We can understand.
Okay, that's
Suddenly, but in middle, some noise comes, sir.
okay, okay, fine. Okay, I was asking you the dates of the first eye test. Does anybody remembers it? It was 13, 14, 15 or 15, 16, 17 something, right?
So 15,
Yes,
16,
sir. It was.
17.
I think it was physics.
17th of October, right? Monali?
So 15, 16, 17.
October, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Because
So your voice is low.
So your voice is very low, sir.
okay. Now is it clear?
So it's very low. So we can't hear you now.
Now am I audible? Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
you're audible.
Loud and clear, or it's still like?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Why I was asking you the eye dates is because now you may be having your second eye test shortly. Okay. Mostly it would be after Diwali itself, but start preparations. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so far 13 of them have joined. We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll get started.
So it will be online or like physical test.
It would be if your classes start, then we can have a physical test. If your classes don't start, then it would be online itself.
Okay.
What do you prefer?
So anything.
Online is better, right? Okay, we are not yet sure about the classes starting because the government has
So again, you're not audible, sir.
now am I audible?
So there is some disturbance.
What kind of disturb?
So with the mic, I guess.
Now
So you're audible, but voice is very low.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now it's audible. Now check now,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
because let's not put that mic in my mouth now. It's almost touching my lips now. You cannot keep it more.
So we can hear you, sir, but in between there is some disturbance.
Now also there is a disturbance or now it's clear?
Yes, sir. There
Yes,
is.
sir.
I don't know what is the. Now, is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Am
Yes,
I
sir.
audible?
Audible.
Now there a disturbance?
No, sir, you are not audible.
Now am I audible? Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Now it is.
And disturbance?
No, sir.
No
Till now,
disturbance.
no.
Sorry,
Sir, no, sir.
it's okay right now.
Yes, sir.
Disturbance start ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, I guess you're comfortable now.
Yes, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, now it's loud and clear. I hope there is no disturbance. That is my worry.
No, sir, no disturbance.
Okay, thank you, thank you. ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆವಾಜ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತದ. Okay, guys, really sorry for the delay. I'll get started with the class now. I hope the disturbance, everything is cleared now. Whenever there is a disturbance, please stop me in between and let me know. Okay, we'll make some more adjustments now. Okay, I'll be sharing the screen now. Okay, but still, I guess only 23 students, 22 students have joined. There are around 12 students who have not joined yet. Make sure that everybody joins. You can put it in your group. Guys, again, second eye test is coming nearer, so your attendance things, everything would be, again, you're accountable for your attendance. So just encourage your friends to attend classes. Okay, I'm sharing the screen now. Please confirm you can see the screen. Screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so we were discussing, if you remember, we were discussing merchant banking in which we were discussing the issue management. In the class before the previous class, we discussed what is pre-issue obligations and post-issue obligations, then other obligations and all those things related to issue management is what we discussed. Then in the previous class, we started with types of issues. where we studied what is IPO first. That is initial public offer. So what is an IPO? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? All those things we studied in IPO. Then we tried to understand also what is FPO, and I have told you FPO is nothing but IPO, but it is done for the second time or subsequent time. So issue of shares to the public for second time or public offering for existing listed company. That is called as an FPO. Okay. Going ahead with the same. Okay. Next thing that we need to understand is rights issue. Now, briefly, I have also told you what is rights issue. Okay. So offering new shares by the company in primary market to its existing shareholders. Now, this is very important. You are offering shares in the primary market, fine. But to whom you are offering? You are offering it to only the existing shareholders. Here, the new investors will not come into picture. The existing shareholders will be getting shares of your company.
So there's a disturbance again.
Okay, now I'm not even moving now. Ashwini, is it clear? Aryan, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Aryan, am I clear?
Sir, no, sir. That chirr, that glitch sound coming, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir. Now clear, sir.
now it's clear.
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No chir sound, no. Aryan,
Sir, little coming, sir. Sir, little coming, sir.
you can manage that chir, I guess. Is it clear now, Rashmi?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Swapnil.
Sir, maybe your mic, the headphones pin is loose. Maybe your headphones
I
audio
tried
jack
that
pin is
also.
loose.
I understand. I thought the pin is loose, but I tried that. It's not working. Still, you're getting that sound?
Yes, sir.
How are the other faculties managing, guys?
In MB Patil sir's class, there was no disturbance.
Hello? Guys, are
So
you
now you're
listening?
audible.
Yes, sir.
Is it still the same voice that you are hearing, or it's clear now?
It's
It's
clear
clear.
now, sir.
Okay, fine. But this solution is really difficult for me to explain. Okay. I cannot hold my hand, mic in the hand always. Fine, let's start. Fine. So I was talking about right issue where the offering of new shares is done to the existing shareholders in the primary market itself. Okay. Now this is done on pro rata basis. Now can somebody tell me what is this pro rata basis? Anyone, any idea about what is?
So it is like someone who has applied more shares will get the shares first.
Someone who has applied for more shares will get the shares first.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anybody else?
And then the one who has, it goes on decreasing, sir.
Sir, we will.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Anybody else? What is pro rata basis?
So it's
Sir,
proportionally
what is-
allocated. Shares are proportionally allocated.
Right, that is the answer. Okay, it's not that the one who bids for more shares gets more shares. It's not like that. It is on the proportionate basis. Okay, let us take a simple example. Let's say there is a company called as XYZ Limited. Okay, and let's say Mrunali, Rashmi, and Ashwini are the shareholders of that particular company. They already have, let's say, 50 shares each. The company decides that they are going to issue rights issue. They are going to go for a rights issue where they're going to issue 1 share for every 4 shares. Okay, or 1 share for every 2 shares, let's say. 1 share for every 2 shares. Okay, now this is what is called as pro rata basis. That means Rashmi, Mrunali, or Ashwini, or whoever is the shareholder, let's say these 3 people are having 50 shares each, they will be getting 25, they can get 25 more shares. Okay, that is what pro rata basis is. So for every 2 shares, existing shares, you will get 1 share. That is called as pro rata basis, or also called as the proportionate basis. Is it clear now what is pro rata?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Then let's try to understand the advantages of going for a rights issue. First one is it is economical. Why it is economical? Because there is no question of appointment of merchant bankers. There is no question of of prospectors. Okay. The lots of procedures that are involved in an IPO are eliminated over here because you're just issuing shares to the existing shareholders. That's it. So it becomes more economical. You save a lot of cost when you're doing that. Okay. Second one is pattern of shareholder remains the same. Okay. Now, when you issue rights shares, there will be no new equity shareholders. Okay. All shareholders who will be subscribing and who will be buying your shares would be the existing shareholders itself. So the pattern of shareholders will remain the same. Whatever are your shareholders, the list of shareholders would remain the same. The only change that will happen is the number of shares to each shareholder, because you're giving a rights issue. So maybe the number of shares for each shareholder will increase, but the number of shareholders will not increase. The pattern of shareholders will remain the same. Next, it is certainty. Yes, if you're going for a rights issue, at least you're certain that people will buy your shares because they already are the investors, right? And they have invested into your company. So you are quite certain that the same investors would invest in your company when you go for a right issue. Now, why they will prefer? Because of the next point, that is subsidized price. Right issues is never done on market price. Always remember. Rights issues are done on subsidized basis. Like, let's say the price of the share is 120 rupees. Current market price is 120 rupees. The company will issue it at 110, 115 rupees, let's say. Okay. So the shareholders are getting the shares at a subsidized price. So what happens when they are getting it at subsidized price? There is certainty of investment. So that is the advantage of rights issue. That is, there is certainty that you will get the money or you will be able to collect the capital, whatever is required. And second is, since it is done on a subsidized basis, even the investors are benefited out of it. And last one is known investment. The investors are known to the company as well as the company is known to the investors, because it's not given to the general public. It is given to the existing shareholders. So the shareholders know what the company is because they have already invested. They are already the shareholders of the company. And even the company knows who the shareholders are. So it's a known investment. I hope you're clear with these advantages of rights issue. If there is any doubts in any of this advantage, please feel free to ask. I'll wait here for 1 minute. If it is clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can go ahead with the next part. Okay, so the next one is offer for sale. Okay, now what is this offer for sale is? Okay, here it is an invitation to the public to buy the existing shares of the company. Okay, like you suppose you have a company, let's say you have a company called as ABC Corporation Limited or ABC Limited. Okay, and which is already existing in the market, like they have already issued shares and they are already listed in the market. Now what do they do is they give a public invitation. They give an invitation to the public to buy the shares of the company. Now normally who does that? It is done by the promoters, because let's say they want to diversify risk maybe, or they want to pull away their investment. There might be a number of reasons for it. So what do the promoters will do? The promoters will invite for an offer to sale. Okay, and they ask for the public to bid for it. Sometimes it is through bid, sometimes it is fixed price. Okay, so what happens is the promoters will go for an offer for sale, and they offer, let's say, n number of shares in the market, and the public is free to buy the shares. Okay, excuse me. Okay, then why it is done? It is done to diversify risk. As I said, normally this offer for sale is done by the promoters. Promoters wants to reduce their investment in that particular company, so they offer their huge portion of their investment into the, give it to the general public. They offer it to the general public. Okay, in this case what happens is the percentage of contribution by promoters reduces. Okay, let's say they have offered 5% of their shares to the general public, so the promoters contribution reduced by 5%. The promoters will get that money and they can invest that money somewhere else. So what they are doing, they are diversifying. Okay, so that might be one of the reasons why they go for offer for sale. Another thing that is done is, normally governments do this. Okay, in a public sector enterprises, okay, in a public sector enterprises, if the government want to disinvest, normally they go for offer for sale. Let's say government has a stake of around 40% in a particular company. Okay, so it will offer that 40% to the general public. Why? Because it wants to come out of that company. It wants to pull away its investment from that company. So that is called as disinvestment or divest. They want to divest from that particular company. So what do? They offer that portion, 40% of their share capital, to the general public. Okay, now the people will buy shares, and automatically this government will get the money and they are out of that company. That is how disinvestment happens. So that is again through offer for sale. Then offer for sale can be done in two ways. One is through offer for sale directly, or not directly. Basically here the price is fixed. You quote a price, let's say it's a subsidized price, no doubt. Okay, but you say there is an offer for sale for these many shares at rupees this. Let's say the current market price is 220 rupees or 240 rupees. You are offering it at 230 rupees. Okay, so that is what is through offer for sale. Second one is through offer for subscription. Now here what happens is the company will ask for bids. Okay, so the shareholders will bid for the shares of the company, and when they get the bids, okay, they collect all the bids, and on the basis of the bidding they decide on the price. Okay, so whatever bids they have got, whatever is the price of the bids that they have got, on the basis of that price, okay, final price is fixed, and then the shares are offered to those bidders. That is how offer for sale is done. Okay, so basically it's an offer to the general public by the existing shareholder, by the promoters, to buy the shares of the company. That is what offer for sale is. Any questions in offer for sale? Any doubts, any questions, any queries? If no, you can give a thumbs up. If yes, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Sir,
Yes?
hello.
Yes?
Sir, how that bidding price will be decided, like base price, sir?
See, that is what I'm asking. I'm telling you, okay, it is, there are lots of methods now. Now they can use a simple average method. They can use a weighted average method. Okay, they can choose the highest bid and the lowest bid and decide on the price band. Okay, so there are n number of methods that they can use to decide on the price. It's just like book building. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So basically what happens is, see, in bidding, normally what happens, the highest bidder gets the shares, right? Narayan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the highest bidder normally gets the share. So it's something like that. Okay, sometimes the company may also decide that it will be giving shares to the highest bidder. So the shares will be issued to the bidder who has given,
Yes,
who has quoted the highest price, and the shares will be issued to that particular bidder. Okay, and accordingly the price would be decided to sell it to others also. Now,
okay, sir.
it's clear?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Offer for sale is clear to everyone. If yes, please give a thumbs up quickly, guys. Okay, thank you. Then coming to private placements. Now, what is this private placement is? It is securities are not issued to the general public in this case. They are issued privately to investors like mutual funds, VCFs, banks, FIs, etc. Now, can somebody tell me what is VCF? VCF.
Venture capital funds.
Yes, venture capital financiers or venture capital funds is what VCF talks about, right? Okay. FIs are financial institutions. Okay. So what happens in private placement is, understand the word private. Okay. Private placement means the shares are issued to private parties, or the shares are issued privately to certain set of investors. They may be banks or financial institutions, or they may be mutual fund companies, or they may be venture capitalists, etc. Okay. So that is what is called as private placement, issuing shares privately to certain specified parties. Okay. Next term that I have written over here is QIB. Can somebody tell me what is QIB?
Qualified institutional buyers.
Yes, it is qualified institutional buyers. That means these are the people who are qualified to buy the shares when it is issued privately. Okay, like I want ICICI Bank to buy the shares of my company. So ICICI Bank becomes a qualified institutional buyer to buy the shares of my company. I want, let's say, DSP Black Insurance Mutual Funds Company, or DSP Black HDFC, let's say HDFC Mutual Funds to buy the shares of my company. Okay, so HDFC Mutual Funds becomes the qualified institutional buyers, or I want ICICI Prudential to do it. So these becomes my institutional buyers. Okay, so that is what qualified institutional buyers are. They qualify to buy the shares of the company when it is privately placed. Am I clear with what is private placements? Any doubts in private placements?
No, sir.
Okay, no. So let's go ahead with the next part, that is what are the advantages of private placements. Okay, first of all, it is cost effective. Again, just like your rights issue, private placement is also cost effective because you need not go to the public and advertise your issue and all those things, because you're specifically giving it to certain parties which you have identified, and you're going to approach only those parties for buying the shares. So there is no question of advertisements, there is no question of grading or anything else. Okay, no appointment of intermediaries, because there is direct connection with the company and the qualified institutional buyers. So a lot of cost saving happen. Time effective because it happens quickly. You need not wait for subscriptions and then allotments and then listing. All those things will not happen. So it is very time effective. In terms of time, it is very effective. In terms of structure also, it is effective because there are less number of procedures that you need to follow when you go for a private placement. Okay, so the structure, even the structure after the allotment is very simple, because there are only qualified institutional buyers who are your shareholders. Okay, so it is structure effective in terms of the procedures, in terms of the practices, in terms of the shareholding pattern at the later stage. Everything is effective. And access effective. Okay, see, basically access effective means what? It's really difficult to access all the investors in the capital market, right? So the investor, you cannot go and approach all the investors to buy the shares of your company. It is really difficult. Whereas for qualified institutional buyers, yes, there are a few number of qualified institutional buyers whom you have identified, and accessing them or reaching them becomes very easy. So it is access effective. So it's cost, time, structure, and access effective. That is why it is advantageous to go for a private placement. Okay, I'll just give you a simple example. I don't know whether I've quoted this example, but during my MBA times, when I was doing my MBA, I was doing my project in Renuka Sugars Limited, Sri Renuka Sugars Limited. Okay, now initially it was owned by Murkumbi. Now they have sold it to somebody else. Okay, but when I was doing my project over there, okay, they had gone for a private placement. Okay, now what they had, their qualified institutional buyer was ICICI Bank. Okay, so they had approached ICICI Bank to purchase the shares of SRSL, that is Sri Renuka Sugars Limited. So that is what private placement is. Okay, it is cost effective, as I said, no cost in advertisement, no cost in grading or rating your issue, etc. Time effective because you need not spend time and preparing the prospectus and sending it across, advertising, etc., etc. All those things are eliminated. So it is time effective structure, I've already told you, as well as it is easy to access. Accessing the qualified institutional buyers is quite easier than accessing all the investors in the stock market or capital market. Okay, so that is the advantage of private placement. Okay, next thing that we need to discuss about is the disadvantages, and after the disadvantages we are going to stop the class for today. Okay, very few subscribers, yes, because you are identifying only a few subscribers who are going to purchase the shares, whereas when it comes to the capital market, there are thousands and lakhs of investors who can invest into your company. So when it comes from the point of subscription, yes, there are very few subscribers to private placement. That is one disadvantage. Sometimes price is also influenced because these are bigger players in the market, like mutual fund companies or investment bankers or your financial institution. These are big players in the market and they can influence the price. Okay, so what happens is, since they want to buy the shares of your company, they may ask you to reduce the price and sell it. So price is influenced. And lack of confidence, basically lack of confidence, not with the financial institution, not with the qualified institutional buyers, but the investors may lose confidence in the company, because since it is going for private placements, the investors may have a feeling that the company is not performing and it does not want to go public or does not want to issue shares public, as it is skeptical about the subscription to happen. So the investors will lose confidence in such companies. That is another disadvantage of private placements. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of private placements. Okay, in the next class we'll be discussing about how issues are priced, like how it is done, differential pricing, let's say, or what is a floor price, what is a band price, etc., etc. So all these, it's a new concept, so I don't want to start it and end it in between. Okay, so I'll be starting it in the next class, which talks about how pricing of shares is done. Okay, pricing of issues is done. Very important, because very important from your examination point of view also, as well as from your knowledge point of view, because people are going to ask you how shares are issued, what procedures are followed, or how that price is fixed. Very important. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss in the next class. So far, whatever we have covered in this private placement or offer for sale or rights issue, I hope you're clear with all these concepts of different types of issues. If there are any doubts, you're free to ask me those doubts, because we are left with another 6 minutes are there. So we can definitely discuss any doubts relating to all these things that we have discussed today.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, what exactly that QIBs do, sir?
they are qualified
What they're,
institutional buyers.
yes, sir.
Okay, that
Buyers.
means they are
Yes, sir.
qualified to buy the shares of the companies which are going for a private placement.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you identify them and they become a qualified institutional buyer. They qualify to buy the shares of the company. Now there are certain restrictions, there are certain rules also. Okay, anyone, you cannot just identify anyone and ask them to buy the shares. No, there are certain rules that the SEBI has put forth, and they have to abide by those rules and regulations, and only when they satisfy all the compliances, then only they become a qualified institutional buyer.
Yes, sir.
So why is it termed as institutional, sir?
See, basically they are a group of people, so they call it as institutional buyers. Okay, it's not an individual who does it. It is a group of people who come together and do it, so that it becomes an institution. So whether it is a bank or a financial institution, or it's a merchant banking firm, investment banking firm, or it may be a mutual fund, or a venture capital. All these are firms, so they are termed it as institutions
Yes, sir.
since they are group of people. Anybody else? Any other doubt? Feel free to ask your doubts, guys. Another 4 minutes remaining, so I can take some questions. I hope everybody is there. Nobody's sleeping or nobody's just on and they're gone. Can everyone come in the video mode for 1 minute? Quickly come in the video mode. How are you, Rohit, now?
Fine, sir.
Can you speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Akash, in one of the classes, I want you to share your experience about your interviews, the process that happened, like 2-3 interviews that you gave. Okay, so I want you to just share your experience with all other people, because they also need to be aware of how placements happen and how rigorous the process is. Akash, you're there?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other doubt? Nabiraj, Tanaz, Ganesh Prasad, Preeti, you're not visible. Your audio or video is off. Jasvina, it's a finance class. Pragati, Akshata, Shaila, Vishnu. Okay, guys. Fair enough. So I hope you're clear with whatever was discussed today in the class, all about your rights issues, FPOs, rights issues. Then we also studied offer for sale. Okay, the 2 methods for offer for sale, and then we went on to do private placements. So I hope you're clear with all these concepts of how issues are done. What are the different types of issues? Tomorrow, in tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about how the pricing of the issue is done. Okay, like marginal pricing or differential pricing or price bands. Then what is a book building, how book building process happens. All those things is what we are going to study in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so I'll end the class for today. Okay, in tomorrow's class, we'll continue with the next part. Okay, any doubts? Last time I'm asking this, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, if everything is clear, please give a thumbs up so that I can close the class. The sooner you give the thumbs up, the sooner I end the class. Good. Look at the speed at which you are giving the thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you,
and
sir.
next class, I guess it's Mahesh Gowda sir's class. So he will not be engaging his class because he's engaged in some assignment. So he'll be announcing his class later. Whenever he takes the class, he'll announce it later. Right now, he will not be able to take the class. So his class won't happen. The next class will continue at 1:30 itself. Okay, 1:30, DGK sir would be taking his class. Okay, in case he is announced anything, then that is another issue. But right now, Mahesh Gowda sir would not be engaging the class due to some commitments at the professional end. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good day. Take care.
Thank you, sir.